Alright, so in this problem, I have m to the power of 21 plus m to the power of 14 is equal to 36. So I'm going to first rewrite m to the power of 21 as m to the power of 7 times 3, and m to the power of 14 as m to the power of 7 times 2. So if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So m to the power of 7 times 3, that's m to the power of 7 to the power of 3, and m to the power of 7 times 2, that's m to the power of 7 to the power of 2, is equal to 36. Now I'm going to let m to the power of 7 equal to the variable a. So now I have a to the power of 3 plus a squared is equal to 36. So now I'm going to subtract 36 on both sides, and I get a to the power of 3 plus a squared minus 36 is equal to 0. Now I can rewrite a squared here as negative 3a squared plus 4a squared minus 36 is equal to 0. Now I can go ahead and factor by grouping. So from a to the power of 3 minus 3a squared, I can factor out a squared, so I get a squared times a minus 3, plus from 4a squared minus 36, factor out 4, so I get 4 times a squared minus 36. And a squared minus 36 this is actually a squared minus 9. So for a squared minus 9, I get a plus 3 times a minus 3 is equal to 0. So now if I factor out a minus 3, I get a minus 3 times a squared plus 4 times a plus 3 is equal to 0. And this is the same thing as a minus 3 times a squared plus 4a plus 12 is equal to 0. So now this gives me two equations. I have a minus 3 is equal to 0, meaning a is equal to 3. And a squared plus 4a plus 12 is equal to 0. So to solve that, we can use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times ac. Well, let's look at this part. Square root of b squared minus 4ac. So b in this case is 4. So we have the square root of 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 12. Well, this is the same thing as 16 minus 48. The square root of this, which is square root of negative 36, and you can't take the square root of negative numbers, so this is wrong, and my only solution is a equals 3. So now remember how we let m to the power of 7 equal a. So now we have m to the power of 7 is equal to 3, meaning m is equal to the 7th root of 3. Alright, so in this problem, I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 7 to the power of x plus 2. So to start, if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So 7 to the power of x plus 2, we can rewrite as 7 to the power of x times 7 to the power of 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 7 to the power of x. So then these two cancel out, and now I'm going to be left with 3 to the power of x over 7 to the power of x is equal to 7 squared. And if I have something in the form a to the power of m over b to the power of m, this is the same thing as a over b to the power of m. So 3 to the power of x over 7 to the power of x, that's equal to 3 over 7 to the power of x, which is equal to 7 squared. Now, I'm going to take the log of base 3 over 7 on both sides. So now I have log base 3 over 7 of 3 over 7 to the power of x is equal to log base 3 over 7 of 7 squared. Now, if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can simply move this exponent b to the front. So this can equal b times log a. So in this case, I have x as my exponent, so I can move it to the front. So then I have x times log base 3 over 7 of 3 over 7 is equal to log base 3 over 7 of, 2 times log base 3 over 7 of 7. And now, these two actually cancel out. Log base 3 over 7 of 3 over 7. So now I'm just left with x is equal to 2 times log base 3 over 7 of 7. Now, log base 3 over 7 of 7, that's the same thing as log base 7 over log base 3 over 7. So x is equal to 2 times log base 7 over log base 3 over 7. Alright, so in this problem, I have x to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 1024. So I want to find the value of x here. So for my solution, first start with x to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 1024. And now, I'm going to rewrite 1024 here as 4 times 256, because 1024 is 4 times 256. So now I have x to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 4 times 256. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So 4 to the power of 4 times 256, that's the same thing as 4 to the power of 4 to the power of 256. And now, well, 4 to the power of 4, that's the same thing as 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Now, we have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, so I have 16 times 16, which is equal to 256. So now I get x to the power of x is equal to 256 to the power of 256. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of a is equal to b to the power of b, and this means that a is equal to b. So in this case, a to the power of a, x to the power of x, is equal to b to the power of b, 256 to the power of 256, meaning x is equal to 256. So now we have x to the power of x is equal to 256 to the power of 256. We have 256 to the power of 256 is equal to 4 to the power of 1024. And now 256, again, that's the same thing as 4 to the power of 4. So now I have 4 to the power of 4 to the power of 256 is equal to 4 to the power of 1024. And 4 to the power of 4, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, This is the same thing as a to the power of m times n. So 4 to the power of 4 to the power of 256 is equal to 4 to the power of 4 times 256, which is equal to 4 to the power of 1024. So I get 4 to the power of 1024 is equal to 4 to the power of 1024. Check